Hello, this is Investment Trains brought to you courtesy of the Zambia Development Agency and ZNBC. Well, this week we look at the initiative which is being championed by the Kalumbila Multipurpose Cooperative Society Limited, backed by the Zambia Development Agency, ZEDF, and the Zambia Export Development Fund, ZEDF, and supported by the Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry and the Ministry of Livestock and Fisheries, which is the initiative of aggregating chickens for export purposes through cooperatives. My guest in the studio is Mr. Chilekwa Mambwe, the Chairman General of Kalumbila Multipurpose Cooperative Society. Sir, it's good to have you in the studio.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
Great. Just tell us what the Kalumbila Multipurpose Society is all about and how you've been doing since your organization was set up.
Well, Kalumbila Multipurpose Cooperative Society Limited is a primary cooperative society in Zambia. Although right now we can say it is the fastest growing cooperative society, in Zambia. This is a cooperative society that has actually come on board to change the narrative. From the day we were registered, actually, and from the time we were launched, this cooperative, interestingly, actually, was actually launched by 5 cabinet ministers because they were amazed to look at the idea we had when it comes to the issue of economic recovery. For us, the economic recovery came actually before the plan was even launched by His Excellency, the President of this country. So Kalumbila Multipurpose Cooperative Society, this is one cooperative society that actually presented a document before the Vice President in, I can say, in 2018, end of 2018. We presented a document on 22nd of October 2018, a document that was actually challenging government to say, look here, Zambians can own their own mineral wealth. We cannot live in a land of plenty and have Zambians only hearing to say there is copper, there is gold, there is emerald. So this organization, Mr. Ngosa, is one organization that actually presented 2 things before the Vice President. Agriculture, because we realized that when you look at agriculture, only maybe less than 20% of our land is being utilized, and mostly by foreigners. Then we presented also the issue of our mineral wealth, to say Zambians have to benefit from their mineral wealth if this country has to see economic emancipation. So this is one organization that, for instance, last year alone, in 2020, last year alone, PACRA recorded the highest number ever of cooperatives registered. PACRA recorded exactly 10,359 cooperatives that they registered. They said this was a landmark. This is one cooperative that was even endorsed by His Excellency when he looked at our model of business to say this is the way actually to go for every Zambian. So those cooperatives are as primary cooperatives as we are, but the good news is that Zambians are learning that we can only achieve as emancipating our economy through Ubuntu, and that comes through cooperatives.
That's beautiful. Let's now look at the reason why we are here, the Sustainable Poultry Project for exports, chickens through cooperatives. Why this project?
Why this project? Actually, we live in a country, a land of plenty, where when I look at Zambia, Zambia is a young nation. And being a young nation, we are saying that most of the young people that are in this country are below the age of 35, okay? 70% plus are below the age of 35. And you will find that this is an information age and not an industrial age. Our parents, whenever they completed school, a vehicle was waiting for them outside to say, I've completed school, let's go and work at this company. Or let's go to this university, we'll pay everything for you. But not anymore. We are in an information age, meaning that computers are taking over employment of people, robots are doing that. So what do we need to do? We need to actually study what the global world is doing. So why the business of chickens? It's simple. And why the export? It's simple. When you look at, for instance, the ERP, Economic Recovery Plan, okay, or program, you find that on the page 19 and 22, you find that they have listed something about 5 things that can actually help us, revamp our economy. And when you look at these things, we're talking about the macroeconomics, you know, stability or stabilization of macroeconomics. And when you look at this, you understand that one thing that is killing Zambia is that Zambians are not involving themselves in economic activities that can actually create an export base. Because many countries out there that are doing fine, it's those who even come to buy copper here and then they export things to us and we buy at very high prices. Okay? So, when you look at this arrangement, you find that Zambia needs to actually pull up the socks where stabilizing an export base is concerned. And this is where now Kalumbila, you know, and ZEDF come together. When you look at countries like Angola, Angola is buying chickens, for instance, from Brazil all the way. And it takes 30 days for chickens to reach Angola. And by the time they are reaching, I'm sorry to say this, they are tasteless, because these are testimonies coming from there. But here is Zambia, which is just near Angola, near there in Kialokia, Mali, you know, northwestern province, as they call it, Kialokia, Mali. Okay, you find that it is just Angola is just a stone throw away. So why is Zambia not taking advantage of this market, which is having millions of dollars? Look at Congo DR. Congo DR is getting even chickens from South Africa. You know, they pass through our country to take chickens in South Africa. Okay, I mean to take chickens in Congo.
Into Congo.
And what is happening to our roads when those trucks are loading all those all that food? You find that our roads are even, you know what I'm talking about. So at the end of the day, we have come to realize to say, as young people of this country, instead of every time complaining to say there are no jobs in Zambia, here is an opportunity. Keeping chickens is not a problem. We can do it. And ZEDF comes in with the issue of training us on how to keep these chickens up to the standard of export. They are doing that.
So what you are saying in a nutshell is that the export market has been identified, the block has been identified, and now through Kalumbila Multipurpose Society, working with ZEDF and the Zambia Export Development Fund. The Zambia Export Development Fund, you are going to prepare the members of Kalumbila Multipurpose Society cooperatives into the export business. Is that what you are saying?
Exactly the point, Mr. Angosa. You know, what is happening is just what you have said. Excuse me, Kalumbila is going to aggregate. Excuse me, we'll be running an outgrower scheme where we have identified with ZEDF 100 cooperatives, but the condition is that these 100 cooperatives, that's per province, we're beginning with Lusaka, they should be registered with ZEDF. And there are incentives that are there apart from just exporting chickens. There are so many businesses that actually, you know, people can actually benefit from ZEDF. So when these are, you know, identified, we train them on how to prepare. Of course, ZEDF is training members of Kalumbila on how to train, you know, how to prepare those chickens up to the standard, the standard of export. And the good news is that Tiger Feed has come on board. And Tiger Feed will be now the ones that will be busy collecting the chickens and you know, bringing them to the abattoir, things like that. So why, to just answer now in full, why this project? Because we've realized to say this is one simple project that people can easily do with simple instructions. And look at the Zambian youth. Most of them are not in employment. But here is an arrangement of cooperative societies. Okay, through cooperative society, we are bringing Ubuntu by giving these you know, chicks to the Zambian youth and women who are in cooperatives and men who are in cooperatives. You find that it will be very much easy for them to rear these chickens, and then at the end of the day, you know, we aggregate and they get their money, and we get the money as a cooperative society. So Zambians have to wake up. And why this poultry, you know, project is because Zambians need to get involved in economic activities.
Well, I love your energy, Mr. Mambwe. Quickly, what kind of chickens are we talking about in this instance?
We are talking about broiler chickens, yes, which takes about 6 weeks. They are ready, meaning that when we begin this project, every 6 weeks, Zambians will be making money.
Do you already have an abattoir for this process? Because it's quite a tedious process to that.
Yeah, under construction. And the good news is that we've got members already of Kalumbila who have been involved in this business. So members are coming on board with different things. and abilities.
In looking at numbers, what's the ratio of numbers are you looking at in terms of what is expected for export?
In looking at numbers, right now, I can say that we cannot actually satisfy the market out there. For instance, we're not even beginning with Angola. We're beginning with Congo DR, and we cannot satisfy the market that is there. So we are looking at beginning with thousands of chickens. Right now we have a member of our cooperative society who is keeping 45,000 birds. 45,000. And the other one is keeping 28,000 birds. Now, when you talk of 100 cooperatives coming on board, it means definitely we are going to go into millions of birds that we'll be keeping. It sounds
quite it sounds quite something, of course. But let's look at the rationale of this project. For someone who's watching there and they're thinking, well, it sounds interesting. And of course, with the partnership ZDA and ZEDF, you find that it even consolidates the whole aspect of this project. But let's look at handling of these chickens. Who are these people who have formed cooperatives? Where are you getting these people? Where are they coming from? Are these ordinary Zambians? What criteria were you using to identify members or members who have identified with you? Are these working class? Are these middle income? Are these what's a class of people that are working in these cooperatives?
All right, thank you so much for that good question. Let me begin with the rationale of this project. Actually, it all begins with identifying problems. Let me say, at our organization, we have a special group. We call it a special force. This is a group of thinkers. I am their head, and they are, graduates from UNZA and CBU. These are the people that I have at the moment. Of course, other students from other universities and colleges are welcome, but for now, we have formed a national team of thinkers. These are people who are coming up with projects at our organization. All they do is to read books and think. They have got what we are calling the mind education and entrepreneurship. Okay, so these are thinkers that we have. Now, in our group of thinkers, what we did first of all was to identify the problem that we have. The problem that we have in our country is unemployment. And now that there's unemployment, what projects can we get into quickly that can give us money? Then when the president launched the ERP, what we did, we jumped on board and studied the old document within a week, and we identified ourselves, positioned ourselves in that. So what did we do next? We had a meeting, like you have asked me a question to say, who is involved? We made sure that we involved cooperatives from all over Lusaka. And now, then we said, we don't want money from the government. We have got our own money. So what are we doing? We have identified 600 people who are putting together a 300 kwacha every month as share value. Meaning every month we are raising something about 180,000 kwacha ready to invest, Mr. Ngosa. So when the minister saw this, he said, this is too good. Okay, this is too big. Can I introduce you to ZDA? So that is now how, I'm not answering the rationale, that's how we got introduced to ZDA. So ZDA looked at us to say, many cooperatives only ask for handouts, okay, and the perpetual investment of maybe aid. But you have got money already coming on board. We can work with you. Here are the projects. So at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say to you is that this is one idea that has a background of identifying the problem that we have, which is unemployment. But again, when it comes to issues of what kind of cooperatives are we working with, it is those cooperatives that have been doing maybe poultry, okay? They have been in poultry business. Apart from that, those cooperatives also that have got capacity to actually, rear chickens.
That's beautiful to hear. Mr. Mambwe, in the interest of time, let's look at the process of poultry farming. There's the poultry itself, the way where you're going to rear these chickens, and then there's a feed involved. Tiger, you mentioned
Tiger
that
feeds,
Tiger feeds are coming on board. Where are the people, the cooperatives, getting their chicks from? And also, you've mentioned that there's already an open market. Now, these few items here could really be frustrating if they are not dealt with well. Now, let's see how you have coordinated these aspects to ensure the success of this project, and also talk about the market, because you mentioned that there's market in Congo. Is that market consolidated? Is it a ready market so that once this project is embarked on, there are ready buyers, and who's mediating for that process also?
I had a meeting with the Honorable Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry, and through the bilateral agreements of the two nations, Zambia and Congo, market has been secured. And next week there will be, last week actually, they were sitting, and I believe conclusions were made. And apart from that, we will be having a launch. That is the launch of this very program, the poultry, export of, the export of, chickens. We will be actually having a launch where Honorable Minister of Livestock and Fisheries will be actually officiating. So all I can tell you is that the market has been secured, both outside and within Zambia, okay? Because ZDA has got actually market linkages all over. Yeah, so through ZDA, the market has been actually secured. And talking of Tiger Feed, yes, Tiger Feed has come on board, and they will make sure that all our cooperatives are getting those chickens or chicks, and feed will be actually available. And apart from that, also, I'll be quick to mention that our colleagues, Zanaco has come on board, and Zanaco has actually come on board to make sure that they are part and parcel of every value chain. That is the assurance that we have for the Zambians out there. Not only that, mortality has been taken care of because there is an insurance company that has come on board just in case someone lost all their chicks.
That's very beautiful. And of course, ZEDF's role is to ensure that there's a smooth process of export, including the funding process. Is that it?
Definitely, ZEDF actually is there to exactly what you've mentioned, to make sure that even if peradventure there were losses along the way, actually their fund will have actually taken care of that.
Awesome. So are these people who are the cooperatives, are they applying for that fund in order to go into this business, or there's already a ready fund for them to just go into the business, just do the work and export?
Actually, what is happening, the cooperatives that are coming on board, it's Kalumbila that has actually been supported with that kind of fund. Apart from the loan from ZEDF, we have also got some people who have come on board with a grant. Okay, so we'll be actually they won't be receiving cash as in cooperatives, but they'll be receiving chicks already purchased through us, and feed, the medicines for the chickens and the like. Yeah, so with the cooperatives out there, everything has been catered for. But I'll be quick to mention also that we are beginning with 100 cooperatives in Osaka, and we have already started registering, building a database for other provinces. So this is a project that is beginning with Osaka, but will be all over. And it's not only in poultry, but we have also got other businesses that we are getting into, such as cash crops.
Wow, beautiful. Mr. Mambwe, I would like to say thank you so much for finding time to be here and for shedding more light on the poultry project. We look forward to the execution of this project, and of course, which is going to benefit a lot of Zambians out there. And we wish you well, and we wish this project great success.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, big thanks to Mr. Mkulamagasa, Director General, the Board Chair, Bishop David Masupa, as well as the Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry for this wonderful opportunity for Zambians. Together we can make Zambia great economically.
Amen. That should be it. Well, this has been Investment Trends, brought to you courtesy of the Zambia Development Agency and ZNBC. I've been your host, Hezron Ngoso. See you and stay safe.